everybody, and welcome to another Bible story and craft with Fliss from All Saints. So, this week we're going to look at Pentecost because it is Pentecost Sunday this Sunday. So we're going to do a Pentecost craft and Bible story. To do that, you are going to need a pair of scissors, and if you need a grown-up to need scissors, then you know the drill, you're going to need a grown-up too. Some colours. Especially sort of fiery colours would be perfect. I've got felt tips this week. Some sellotape. I've cut a little piece of sellotape ready to use. You don't need very much. And some paper or cards. Now, I am super lucky that I've got a choice of orange or yellow, but any colour will do because we're going to colour it in. It's really simple. What I need you to do is take your finger and put it on the card, and then you just need to make sure we're going to fold the card over. You just need to make sure that it's going to be wider than your finger. So I've done mine about that wide, and then what we want to do is see how long your finger is, and we're going to draw a flame that's longer than that on there. So I put my finger here, and then I'm going to do a wiggly flame. So mine looks like that now, and then we need to cut it out. Here we go. Now keep it folded in half and don't cut the side that's folded. We want that to stay folded over. So we just cut down to where the flame meets the edge, and then you should have a little mini flame card. And what we want to do is colour it in to make it look more flamey. I'm going to do both sides. Does yours look a bit like this now? And then all we need to do, it's this simple, we just need to take our piece of sellotape and tape the sides like this. Doesn't matter if it goes on there because flames are a bit shiny, aren't they? And then we've got a little flame finger puppet. And we need this for later. We don't need it right yet. So we're going to put that to the side. I'm just going to tidy up. So here's what happened. The disciples were all gathered in Jerusalem for the feast of Pentecost. In fact, lots of Jews from all over the world were gathered in Jerusalem for the feast of Pentecost, which is when the Jews remembered that God had given Moses the laws all those hundreds of years before. Jesus had told his disciples to wait in Jerusalem until he sent them a gift, because he'd gone back up to heaven at this point after he'd been crucified and then risen and then come back and spent some time with them, teaching them, and he said, go to Jerusalem and wait for me there. I'm going to send you a really special gift. And I don't know what they were imagining it was, but they were waiting, and they were dedicating their time to praying. And we're probably feeling a little bit like we're waiting, stuck, waiting for the lockdown to be over, waiting to be able to see our friends again. And maybe we can be spending some of our time that we're locked in praying as well, and just asking God what he wants us to be doing. So they were all retreated up into an upper room, it says, in Jerusalem, and they were all in there praying together. And all of a sudden they heard a noise like rushing wind. So I can't really make enough noise on my own to make rushing wind. So maybe you can help at home and try to make it sound like your whole house is filled with rushing wind. So all together, let's go. How's it sounding? Is it sounding like rushing wind there? I hope so. So the wind was rushing, and then we need our puppets, because they looked at each other and they were all feeling amazing. They were feeling really alive and full of energy. And they looked at each other and they saw tongues of flame above everyone's heads. So maybe we can get our flames and we can all look at each other and see the tongues of flames above our head. And if we wiggle it, it looks like the flame's twinkling like a real flame. And they were so excited. They said, this is it. This must be the gift. This is the Holy Spirit that Jesus has sent to us. And they were so excited that they rushed out onto the street where there were all the Jews from all over the world gathered. And they were so excited, they were laughing and they were speaking. And as they spoke, they started to speak in all different languages. All of the languages of every person there. And they were praising God and saying the amazing things that he had done so that all of those people could understand. They were very confused. They said, how do these people from Galilee know our language? Some of the people there thought that the disciples were so overexcited and acting so crazily that they must have been drunk. But they weren't drunk. They were filled up with the Holy Spirit and it was pouring out of them in an excited way. And when the crowd started to question, Peter came forwards and started to preach. And he told them that this was the gift of the Holy Spirit that Jesus had sent them. That the Jews had crucified Jesus, but he had come back to life, gone to heaven, and then sent his Holy Spirit down. And that was how they were able to speak to everyone there. And that is how they had these amazing powers now. So many people were amazed and moved by hearing them speak about the Holy Spirit and seeing them so full of the Holy Spirit that they said, well, what can we do? They must have felt terrible that they were the ones that had killed Jesus. And Peter said, you can turn away from your old ways, turn away from sin and start worshipping God. And do you know, over 3,000 people became Christians that day, and that was the start of the church as we know it now. So what an exciting and amazing story it is. And perhaps you can speak with your grown-ups about if they've ever experienced the Holy Spirit. Have you ever felt the Holy Spirit? Maybe you can pray now that the Holy Spirit will be sent to you as a gift and fill you. So if you've joined in this craft, we'd love to see we'd love to see your fire pictures. I got a little bit excited. I had so much fun making them. I actually made 3. I might even have a whole handful before the end of the day. So if you have got tongues of fire, take a picture, send it in to Tom at All Saints Church Wick, and we will put it on our webpage. And if you go and look, there are some amazing works of art that the children and the grown-ups have done actually, and we love to see them. You can also get in touch if you need any help, if you want any prayers, if you're feeling lonely. We love to hear of you. Have a lovely week in the sunshine. We love you. Bye.